to take the 2-litre diesel engine out of the Insignia. It's near enough out already. There's a few last things to take off. But yeah, the engine's about ready to come out. There's a few coolant hoses and that are still connected here, there, or everywhere. We'll get it set up, we'll get it sorted, and we'll get this bad boy out. I'm going to obviously rip the radiator and stuff like that out, and then I will remove the bonnet so that I can access all around there. So let me get the camera set up. So, I'm going to take everything out that I've already taken off, so we can actually access the damage of what is still left to come off. As you can tell, not a lot. Collect a few other minor things, and then we'll start going into it. I'll obviously try and keep the camera panned around different wherever. So, I think I'm going to start with the bonnet, just to obviously, so we've got an engine crane sat down there, just there. So what I'm going to do is, somewhere along the back here, there is this, so I'm going to use this, put this in just here, and we're going to use these points to get the engine off. So we'll get the bonnet off, we'll get the engine crane sort of in line, and then from there we'll have to see if and where obviously it's going to go. So, tools out. Let's make a start. 15mm that holds this bracket in. There's 2 more on the engine that I can use. So we've got one there, a hole there, and then one just down at the front there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the engine in the upright position rather than it being tilted forward, because of all the engine marks that come off, including the bottom one. I'm assuming that they're 13s. So, if I get my little Timu gun and go this way around, we can unhook the one strap, and then we should be able, so there's one side, there's the other, rest that on the engine, and simply lift the bonnet off the car. So, now the bonnet's off, it gives us a load more room to be able to actually get in. That's still loose, so that might not be the actual bolt or the point for that to go on. However, once that's got obviously the straps on and stuff like that, we should be all right. So, might get the engine crane in next. There's a hook point here. and obviously get you in a better view. So hook point just here, and a hook at the back there that I'm going to use. Like I say, it's still a bit loose. It's only done in by hand because of the boat's got some threads in. I mean, I could go over it. Could just quickly get the gun, make sure that it's in about as tight as it's going to go. Again, still a little bit of play, but enough. So, just got some slings. It's just a bit tight. Already, the engine is very loose. So get this other side in, we can get the engine crane set up. And we can take weight off of the try and straighten that out as much as possible. Wasn't that much more to take off of the engine before it comes out, but just a few bits here and there. Simply just everything getting in the way. So that's got it, that's gripped. So we'll get the engine crane set up. So, depending on where you're from, this is or was a Vauxhall Insignia. We can't really see it very well because of the covers on it. But yeah, we originally bought it. The people that we bought it off kind of lied to us. They told us that it was just an immobiliser issue, and when we started actually getting down to the root cause, we found a hole in the engine. So I'm going to remove the engine, the gearbox, and that's still okay. But the gearbox and that's still okay. It's just the engine that's no good. So we're going to take it out, we're going to strip it down, and then we're also going to look at actually stripping the engine down itself to figure out what went wrong or how bad the engine actually was. I appreciate the comment. And how is your Sunday morning going? For anyone that's from America as well, by the way, you won't have Vauxhall. It's either Opel or it's GM Motors, so they share some of the guts with stuff like the Chevrolets. The American people that are in the stream. Yeah, just setting up the engine crane. camera slightly out of the way. I will try and keep it as illiterate as possible. But yeah, it's sort of difficult if English is not your first language. So got the engine crane. Just gonna come in nicely just here. Start getting this jacked up and take the weight off of the engine. How is your Sunday morning going? Hopefully better than mine. Unless you like working on cars, and then it's just a sticker for paying for this sort of stuff. Now that the crane is sort of in position, okay, slightly line it up. Radiator is slightly getting in the way, but that'll be coming off soon anyway. The main thing that I'm trying to do is just take the weight of the engine off. Let's bring it around here. Right. What I think we should do is still more things that are already off the car already. Have a look at undoing all parts of the radiator. We should be able to obviously get that. You have a Ford Figo-inspired diesel. Okay, so yeah, Fords obviously are okay. I haven't had good experiences with them, but quite a lot of other people have. So, slowly move that out of the way. Maybe electrical connection points. Radiator. Wiring harness down here. Again, simply take off whatever's holding it to the engine, because it'll need to come off anyway, and then we can move it all. Just going down there, so we might need, there's only a couple of points of the wiring left on the radiator. Again, removing anything that's loose. Attempt to try. We'll just grips and take it off of that side where it's connected up to the engine there. Should give us a bit more room. But yeah, for anyone that obviously is either just joining for the first time, I think not available in US. I have that in India. You can search on Google, nice car, very peppy engine, very fuel efficient, gem of a car. That's nice to know. I don't think, if I'm quite honest, the Ford Figo, I don't think you can get that in England as well. I could be wrong. Anyone in the comments, please feel free to let me know. The tools that I've already been using. So if we take that hose off there, remove all of the wiring, then what we should be able to do now is simply radiate it out of the way. So at the moment we're going through gloves like no tomorrow, and that's currently going to be, I mean we've got an abundance of parts there as well, but that's going to be parts storage part. So now I've got the radiator out of the way, I've got more room to move this in. So we're now able to take the pressure off of the engine. YKB, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate the comments and stuff like that. It all helps. Anything that obviously anyone can do, subscribing, liking the video, anything like that, I appreciate the comments. I'll try and keep it as chill as possible and as knowledgeable as possible. Unfortunately, doing some of this is obviously the first time for me doing it myself. So I appreciate you coming in, and I hope you have a fantastic Sunday. What we'll do is I can see going through gloves like no tomorrow, so I'll just box a glove out with me. It will probably eventually get to the point where I won't even bother with the gloves at all. But let's see what else we either need to take off, have to take off, anything like that. So we could do with getting this wiring off. Wiring goes down there and then into a plug underneath. So what I might be able to do is get something to rest my knees on. Not have to look at taking access to wiring down there, maybe. Again, this sort of thing is pretty much just making it look as you go along. You can have some form of clue, but best guess is to just start obviously taking stuff off and hoping for the best. Like that, we've got stuff off already. Positive terminal, as well as the oil feed pipe for the turbo. Right. The frustrating thing about it is all of this side of the wiring here is held on by one plug, and it's right the way down there. I'm just trying to see if now I'm going to be able to get it off, because if I believe I've got to take the power steering off to be able to get to it. So that's fun. And they don't like to make things easy for you. So, some wiring around the back of the engine, just here, that goes to the alternator and the starter motor. There's also a wire just out the back there. Yeah, more wiring, more connection points. Everything's coming off. This whole area, hopefully by the end of today, will just be completely and utterly stripped out with nothing left in it. There it is keep putting tools down and then wondering where they are. The wiring loom. So again, when we bought it, so again, I don't know if any of this is any good. If it's not, it's all news to us. ECU's just there. Could take the oil cooler off. Not really getting in the way that much. I feel like the power steering pump's what's going to have to come off next. So, this wiring down here, these hoses are disconnected. Drive shafts and the majority of the stuff underneath is already taken off. So it's literally just that wire that is causing us a bit of an issue there. We've got to take gear cables off of this side. But again, shouldn't cause too much of an issue. And then, should, in theory, be able to get it out. In theory. There's obviously a bit of wiring and that needs to come off around here. It's not too bad to get it out of there. There's a couple of bolts holding that in. So, just trying to strategize and figure out a way around it. Like I say, take the auxiliary belt off. It wrapped around all of this wire. It's still somehow wrapped all around the wire. So, auxiliary belt. Pile is getting bigger and bigger. Has given us a slight bit more room. Don't think it's going to be enough to get it to there. Might be able to try and do the connection point with a pick. It's all out. It's literally just the plug that needs cutting off. It's just such an awkward angle to be able to try and get into. And we got it. So we didn't have to take the power steering pump off after all. I mean, we're still going to have to take the connection points off so it just comes out with the engine. So, now what we can do is we can move all of this wiring all over this side. Like that. I mean, what we could also do if we wanted is we could take all of the sort of electrical connection points off. So we just have the wiring completely free so it's out of the way. It does, however, go into the fuse box. So what we'll do is, while I have the pick still, we will add another part to the collection pile. Just saying as well, I have no idea where all of them parts are going. That will just be a free-for-all afterwards. Let's see whether my 13mm on the gun will fit this bolt. Luckily enough it did. The wiring's still being held on by something. I think it's that bottom bolt there. 13 screw. Or I could just crack the top of the case in, not open, so you can actually physically crack it, and just take the wiring off and leave the casing on the gearbox. We'll attempt that. Again, tools down. I'm picking it down there on the floor, so. So, like, just try and parts of this casing off. I don't know which way is easier. It would have been easier to just get a spanner and take the other bolts out. That was caught on the engine, so when it moved, it slightly came out. We'll go with the spanner. I shall bring you guys over here so you can see what I am looking at. So, just try and move it down slightly. This wiring goes to the starter motor, which is usually down the back, and then I believe towards the alternator down the back there. They've already been sold, but the casing is on top of the gearbox being held on. There's the 13mm bolt that I've already taken out there, and there's also one here. Might be better with a ratchet spanner rather than trying to do it with a normal spanner. I think I'll go back to the way it goes, just prising the casing open. So, just try and get something behind each of the tabs. Does that come off? Like that. So you don't really take that off at all. Just me being a Mongol. But so we should just have a few minor things left to do. We definitely need to get the select cables off. What I might try and do is jack the engine up slightly and then try and move the engine towards the left. Because I believe it's getting caught. Brake lines out of the way. This gave us more room to be able to access the gear selectors. So we'll just get a pry bar. Should just pop out. Should. Let's try obviously removing this one first. Like that. That's how it should do it. And then we have to sort out the ones at the back. I'll take the bar out of that for now. Let's get it right. I hope everyone's Sunday is going okay. So, with these back clips, you basically push the clip back and then lift it out. But to start with, I need to be able to get this off. Might just take a hammer to it. There's that many parts on the floor now. I'm starting to wonder what is parts and what are tools. Nope. It literally just needs, like, the bottom one came off so easy. It just needs that slight bit of persuasion, and it just doesn't want to give it me. There we go. Bit of playing around, and then push that back and lift it out. Same with this one. This one's always awkward because it's right back. In this case, pushing it back, and it doesn't want to come out. What is new? What is new indeed? See, this is the one that came off the other part easy. And now it literally just doesn't want to come out of there. But again, bit of persuasion with a bar. Can't really do no wrong. The ABS pump. So, gear table's off. I believe everything's off of the back. That's off there. So we should just need to take the hose for the power steering pump off of this side. Everything's now getting in my way of the placement for the camera. So, take that's now freed off the power steering pump completely. That's literally just held in there, so that's just a breather for the airbox. Unsure of whether that bottom engine mount is going to get in the way. Gearbox is nearly away from it, so we will have to see. Should we take it off or should we just leave it and see? This bottom engine mount just there, look. It is stuck around the wiring for the 800th time. Place that down there with a rag underneath so if any fluid does leak out, it doesn't leak out anywhere problematic. Right. Shall we see if it wants to come out? Or do we move the engine mount? I mean, to be fair, with the amount of room that engine mount's got, that could just go like that. Who needs to take the engine mounts out? Let's get the bar and start jacking the engine up. Hope everyone's ready, because here's take one. Have I taken off enough, or is there still more to come? Engine's coming up, but the gearbox is not. So, try and move the engine around in a way. I could just take this front bar off and bring the engine out front ways. Now, obviously, all of that's gone, but where would the fucking that be? The ABS pump is slightly getting in the way. There's also coolant leaking over the other side. What I might be able to do, just slightly bring the engine crane forwards, go over the other side and just manipulate. So all of that's movable, whether or not we're going to have enough room. Have we got enough room that side? So grab that out slightly like that. The engine mount is slightly getting in the way. Tell you what, for the sake of it, we will just take it off. I don't want anything sort of getting in the way from where I can. So, we're on this side. Again, normally you'd go underneath for this, but because we have no front end, is it 15? It's not on game with sizing today. Anyone take a guess? Because if I'm getting it completely and utterly wrong at the moment. So I found the right size. Anyone want to take a guess before obviously I tell you, or should I just tell you? 18 mil. Normally you'd go underneath. Again, with us having literally nothing left on the car, it isn't a problem. It's now coming out by hand. So a long ass bolt that goes through the counterweight and the engine mount. So to say that that's had quite a bit of obviously stress to it, it's not in bad condition. Right, now that that's off, we've got that slight bit more room. We'll go and have a quick look over the parts. So we've got all of that was off it originally. Mad Hiral, welcome in. How are we doing? I hope your Sunday's going hopefully better than how mine is. Yeah, bearing in mind as well, the interior of the car is this up. That's all literally in bits as well. So we're slowly starting to get there, but not focusing on that today. I hope your Sunday is going well. Let's try. Let me try and move stuff out of the way to get a bit of a better view for you. The engine's coming out whether it wants to or not, but at the same time, it's just trying to make sure that we have got some coolant leaking out of the side of it, but be pretty much out with that. Let me take it back a bit further so you can get a bit of a better view. Trying to line up this camera is a nightmare. Yeah, it should be a case. That's the maximum it's going to go. Is it going to clear this front section? And she is out. Whew. That right there is the guts or the remnants of a 2-litre diesel from a Vauxhall Insignia, an Opel Insignia. Definitely fun and games to get obviously these in and out of cars. Don't leave you a lot of room when obviously the car is completely and utterly built up. So we'll clear a bit of area now, and we'll clear a bit of an area, and we'll get the engine down as I need to drag the car forward because the engine's going behind the car. Yeah. Like I say, the main issue that we was having with this one is there's a hole in the top of the engine. It's a metal cover, so I'm assuming that it's caused either damage to the valves and or the pistons. Maybe not in this episode, but in an episode soon, we'll be stripping this completely and utterly down. So there'll be nothing left of this. We'll strip it down and we will find out what is going on. The more I dive into this, the more I realise that breaking it down for parts was definitely the right move to do, because the person that I bought it off definitely lied to me about obviously the issues. The amount of stuff that I found or finding, that doesn't seem like it's tight, that's causing damage to that. Yeah. This wiring out of the way. Right, let's get this engine on a pallet, and then we can look at moving the car and then getting the engine behind the car. And then we can see where we go from there. But
Excuse me then. Come back and have that. Ooh. Are you doing a YouTube channel?
yeah, mate.
What's the name?
Mr&Mrs. Mechanics.
I'll see you on
Can I do it? Gotta love it when obviously you get local kids come around. So let's just slowly get this out of the way. What we can do is slowly lower it down. Edward, need, sell. Unfortunately, mate, I'm unsure on what you mean. If you can enlighten, if anyone can enlighten. Yeah, not much left under the car. Still a few points, obviously going away. Give me 2 seconds. I can't say much because I'm in an Astra, but we've got someone with a loud Vauxhall Corsa driving by. Yeah. Local kids coming around and obviously seeing, I'd say the setup, it's not really much of a setup, it's basically a ring light. We've not got a massive budget to be able to obviously do all of this stuff, but I'm going to move all of these parts slightly out of the way. Get the engine down, and then we will move the car, hopefully manoeuvre the engine behind it. Wait for it to stop shaking so much as the lift's moving. Welcome in. I hope you're enjoying the video. Hoping you're enjoying this live, me making a fool out of myself. If we turn you around slightly so you can now see. So, is lower this down and get it on this pillar. Don't think it's going to do it. What we can do is we can take the weight off it slightly and then push the engine crane forward and then jack the engine back up and try and obviously get it further towards the back. And again, we're not going to get the engine crane further forward because the pallet is in the way. So, not what I was after doing. The engine is very lopsided. Jack it back up. Stuff like this that's actually the most time consuming to the face. Took me about half an hour to get the engine out. Yeah, it was already nearly out, but that stays there like that, which it's not going to. It's literally not that none of it is. The engine is that lopsided. down on the side. It's not going to be a major issue. So I take a few brackets off that are this side and then just try and lay the engine down like that while I move the car, because the engine's going to get picked back up anyway. But power steering pump is a couple of 13mm bolts that hold the bracketry on. See whether the gun fits. If not, we will try and get something else. Let's bring it around this side so I can show you what I'm talking about. Under the pallet, of course it did. So that one's there like that. The issue that we're going to run into is this. Why could it not just be so simple? Why could the engine just not be that balanced that when I pick it up, it just goes on it straight? But again, they wouldn't like to make it that easy for me, would they? Of course not. Right, let's see what happens when we take the engine crane completely off. So we're still going to move the car forward anyway, but that wheel is stopping it due to a lower arm no longer being on. Let's see what happens. That's just going to put pressure against the power steering pump as well. Any suggestions in chat? Very secure, is it? See, this is what you get when you've got no preparation. It's not a video, like an actual video that I can edit. You've still got a coolant leak coming from right there. It's not rehearsed. I haven't got all of the equipment and stuff like that. It's just doing this on my driveway. Got bolts, clamps and stuff like that absolutely everywhere. Again, don't know whether it was from us or whether it was from the previous people. But no, that's still good. We have to check the engine back up. Yeah, because that's just going to tip, look. It's only going to last like that while we move the car, and then the engine's being jacked back up and removed, and I might take the gearbox off anyway. So we take the gearbox off while it's like this, and then we'll move the car. I like it, chat. I like it. Let's go. Everywhere. Even after you drain it, it's still thirsty. leaks out everywhere. Yeah, it's not fantastic without the engine crank. Now I've got it with this. So we'll take the gearbox off. It's coming out. Got 18 bolts. What I mean by E-socket is that one. That is the bolts that we have got. I'm going to go get an adapter so I can attach it to either the breaker bar or my 1/2-inch ratchet. Right, gearbox is now coming out. So, little adapter set, again from TV, to be fair. 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And we will see if the gun is powerful enough. That one's going to be a bit of a difficult one to get in with the gun. A lot of them are, to be fair. I've got 2. Wow. Great start. Living the dream. And the bolts on very tight. Again, I don't know whether it was from the previous owner. At this point, it wouldn't surprise, shock, or anything what they have been capable of doing. So there's 3 bolts out to the gearbox. They all seem to be on the top. We've got one that was in there. We've got one that is a different size. So the ones that are on some. What I'm going to do actually is, thinking about it logically, I'm going to put that bolt back in, at least finger tight. The main reason why I say that is because I'm going to jack the engine up again so I can get to the bolts underneath, and I want at least one of the top bolts in so that I can rest the gearbox down so the full weight's not on it when I'm taking it off. Again, just your everyday sort of activities. Jokes aside, we're going to be looking into getting different cars and all of this sort of stuff. But I'm hoping that everyone's enjoying the content, and if you are, please don't forget to subscribe. Stuff like this, again, for us isn't easy, isn't cheap. So the closer and closer we can get, we are getting close to 400 subscribers. So again, the first milestone for us will be 500. Once we hit that mark, we'll then be pushing for the 1000. So if you can, or you are watching this and you're enjoying it, or you're just watching me be an absolute idiot with stuff, then again, please feel free to subscribe. So, jump on the floor, but that one's that. So, bars there. We'll jack it up a bit more and have a look at getting the ones underneath. Quite a few people will, with this car and with this engine, this has to happen more often than I'd like to admit, because these cars are prone for the oil pickup seal inside the sump. They fail, and then when they do, some of the 2-litre models have to have the gearbox completely removed, and then some of them don't. Some of them you can just take the sump off, but again, when we start looking into stripping the engine down, so we've got one bolt at the back just there, and there's one more just underneath just here. Tighten, that is why. It's always a good start. Again, I get that they don't need to be like high torque settings. They're not very tight. At least for us being idiots the way that we are doing, with breaking it for parts, it's not too bad. But for other people, if you go to buy a car, trying to obviously just do either a simple repair or anything along those sort of lines, and then you walk into a disaster like this, it's a big problem. Trying to split the gearbox down now. Yeah, there's no problems with the actual gearbox itself. It's just a problem with the engine, which we will do on another video. We'll start to strip it down, we'll take everything off, literally gut it. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe, as we have got a few other things upcoming. And again, hopefully it's stuff that you all like. Stripping engines down and all of that. We'll start getting into the in more depth with some of them. So we've got one last final bolt here, which again is not tight at all. And all that should be left is that top bolt that we've just done back up. So what we'll do now is lower the engine back down to take the weight off of the gearbox. Side of the bolt. Let's try and swirl that around. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just need to get the weight taken off of it. This is where I probably missed one of the bolts. This now doesn't want to come out. That came out quite easily. Insignia wants to come off. Don't worry, because it's on the pallet. So I might have backfired doing it that way. She definitely wants to split. She wants no more. Trying to divorce the engine from the gearbox. So there we go indeed. Whew. So gearbox is now separated from the engine. So there's your clutch, floor wheel. It's a little bit rusted, all being set. But yeah, gearbox out of the way. These aren't like things to mess around with. Anyone that obviously wants to know as well, on Vauxhalls at least, you have gearbox code just there, look. So this is an F40 gearbox. So I'd work, I might have to go for a drink in a minute. At least get one. So gearbox out of the way. Now we can look at moving the engine. Again, don't know whether, as silly as it sounds, I don't know whether to just take the power steering pump off and then it would be able to rest on its side. How obviously the engine is built, the dipstick should be okay. The only other option that we've got is now not got the weight of the gearbox. I can try and stand it up and see whether we can get it on the top of the sump. Again, no part of this engine as it stands now is any good. So what I need to try and do is just distributing the weight a bit better. Still think that's going to tip, but hopefully with not the weight of the gearbox on it. Let's give it a go. The worst that's going to happen is, well, that's a problem. But the worst that's going to happen is we'll have to take the power steering pump off so that we can just lay the engine down. So let's slowly start to there is a possibility that it was just because of the way that I obviously did that. It tipped too far the other way. So put down in the comments now how many times you think that this is going to, how many times I'm going to attempt this before I give up and just take the power steering pump off and lay the engine down. I would like it to sort of go the other way, and I just need this to slightly go that a little bit more so it's not slightly tilting this way. Which again is easy to set up. They're not exactly like units. So however, take number 2 without the gearbox. Knock it off there. I don't think it's going to have it. I think the engine's just too weighted towards this side. What do we think, chat? Here we go. I can take that bolt out and take the dipstick tube out, take this off, and then lay the engine down on this side. Push it as far on the pallet that way and just literally drop it this way so it doesn't damage any part like that. It doesn't damage the dipstick tube. might have to go with that. I mean, I got the engine out about half an hour ago, and we're now like 30 minutes in deep just trying to get the engine on the pallet, never mind anything else. So it's always a good start. That's the wrong size, that's the 18. Is this the 13? It's the 13. Oh, look at that lot. It's not even tight. I am sorry, I will at one point stop acting so surprised with how this car is. So another part to add to the pile. We've got the dipstick too. Now if we look at taking the power steering pump off, so I'll try and bring you around this side. Cam belt out of the way because we don't need to worry about that. So I'm thinking it's them bolts there. But again, are they 30? They are, but it is a bit snug with the ½ inch. So not with it now in the slightest. So maneuver pulley is bolts that are situated just behind the pulley, and I'm hoping if I take one, two, the power steering pump comes away. Another part out to the pile. Woo! Let's go. Right, do we just call it there and just lay the engine down? Yes. We have spent far too much time on sorting this, and I've still got to get the engine behind the actual car yet. So, is there enough leeway for me to be able to do that? Now, running them back to the pile. It's not going to be ideal, but I feel like it's going to be the best option is to just, with how imbalanced the engine is, I don't see it laying down well without obviously causing issues. So, if I slowly start to lower it down, what I'll do is come to the bottom, use the drive shaft hook, and anywhere else that I can sort of find, just try the engine back. So again, it's further on this side, so it's more centralised on the pallet. Keep lowering. And one final talk back. That is the engine safely on the pallet. No weight to it, that's now off, that's completely away. really do hope that everyone is enjoying this video. It's not easy to do, especially not live, especially also not trying to make out that I'm a complete total idiot, which everyone kind of knows anyways. What we'll do is we'll take the strap off of the engine, we'll put it on the subframe, lift the car up with the engine crane, pull the car forwards so it gives us enough room behind, and then we'll have to work out a way of getting the engine down towards the back, which is going to be fun. That's a good start, isn't it? So yeah, we're currently trying to take the strap off of this. Which is currently stuck. Of course it is. Why would it want to be easy for me? Try and get some form of leverage to be able to. I feel like I'm doing that the wrong way. Do I just get the pry bar, chat? Why, again, am I making things difficult on myself? But, set 2. Gloves down. Not being replaced just yet because I just can't be bothered. How has this now become the hardest section to be able to do? Just absolute madness. You've got it. Nearly got it. Definitely going to be fun getting this back on afterwards. There we have it. Just need the ball over here. Doesn't need to obviously be on a lot. So, shouldn't even need the brackets on this. The reason why I say that is, do I take this off so I don't cause any damage to it? Yeah. Line's still there. No, just having it as it is. So, we put this through one side like that. Should hopefully be enough. Welcome back, YK. just in case you missed it, the engine is out and the gearbox is off. We was having issues with trying to get the engine to stand up, mainly because of the way that the sump is. It just constantly kept leaning. So for now, it's laying down. The next step that we're trying to do, and I've got obviously a few things to move out of the way, is we're moving the car slightly forward, is the engine's going behind the car, and there's not enough room between the wall and car. So, if I put that onto there like that, and then start jacking, the car should rise. If it doesn't, we've definitely got problems. There we go. So the car's now off the ground. I'm going to try and move the car forward completely out of the way. I don't see it going well. Nope, not going well at all. Not going well at all. Okay. Take two. Let's try and jack it up a bit more and I'll go behind and try and push the car. See whether that makes any difference. What we'll do is just slightly push that forward as it was starting to tip. Even though it's hot, it's still quite, so the sun's out, it's quite breezy. I am going to go and get myself a drink in a minute anyway, especially from all of this heavy lifting that I do. That went better than I thought. Something behind it to try and prevent it from rolling backwards. There's a wasp that's attacking me. Again, you wouldn't have all of this while obviously watching a video. So I'll try and pull the car forward again. I don't really think that there's anything that I can do to try and prevent the exhaust from dragging. Not really got anything. I've got some cable ties, might be an option. Should I go and get the cable ties, chap? Should I do it? Or do I just say screw it? It only needs to go a slight little bit more for me to be able to get down the side and get the engine behind. So we'll say screw it. No, we still need to go more than that. Still not enough room behind. So another slight jack forward with the engine crane. One final push should be enough. We have a funny parts all over the place. Add it to the pile. One final push. That right there should be enough room to be able to get the engine down there. don't have much mechanical knowledge, but I like cars. Well, the way that I see it is I encourage everyone to try and get on the tools. So I try and get everyone to get on the tools, whether you have got knowledge, haven't got knowledge. A lot of it is just a massive learning curve. They can be a nightmare. There's been obviously problems with this job. It's a bit hit and miss. It can go really well, it can go really horrible. It's literally just a case of trying to find out. I mean, I like cars like the best of people, but then you run into issues like this all the time. And the original idea with this car was supposed to be to repair it to be able to sell. We bought it off someone quite cheap. They told me that it had an immobiliser issue. And when we actually dove into it, it turns out that it was a lot more than an immobiliser issue. As you can see, or as you've seen by the top of the engine, it has got a hole in it. So, throw the car back down. It's off. It's on the wooden blocks to stop it from moving. Again, I appreciate anyone, if you have already subscribed. If you haven't, please do. We are pushing closer and closer to 400. Every bit helps. We're obviously attempting to try and get to 500. I'd like to get to 500 minimum by the end of the year, but again, no major stress if we do and we don't. It's nice to have targets. It's nice to obviously try and go to them. So anyone that has already subscribed or anyone that is willing to subscribe, please do. You actually don't understand how much it helps. It helps a lot more than you might think. So now we have the fun, and I'm not 100% sure if it's going to fit. But we need to get the car, we need to get the engine down the back of the car. So it's going down that section there. Not 100% sure whether the engine crane will fit. However, there is no longer an engine inside the car. As well as the gearbox is obviously out as well. I feel like these are no more use to me. No more use to me. I mean, that one's even cut as well. So we're doing semi-okay for nearly 90 minutes. So we're going an hour and a half strong, and I've gone through 2 sets of gloves. What you will have to do is just bear with me 2 minutes while I quickly nip and go and get a drink. Yeah, definitely new gloves. Towards the end, it got to the point where I ended up just bringing the entire box out. Not many left in this one, but I just ended up bringing the box out rather than messing. But yeah, bear with me 2 seconds, go and get myself a drink, and then we will look at getting the engine down the back of the car. If I have to push the car further forward to be able to try and manoeuvre it around, it shouldn't be an issue. We've got plenty of enough room going forwards. It's just whether or not the engine crane will fit down the side of the car with the engine on it as well, which I don't see it going very well. We might have to obviously think of plenty. But bear with me 2 seconds. I'm nearly done now anyway. Right, so I ain't sponsored by them, but I ain't sponsored by anyone. We've got a drink. So the situation that we've got now is we've got two choices. We either move the car forward completely to be able to get the engine crane down the back of it, which I see being the possible option. It's a bit long-winded, but I don't see the engine crane getting past that part just there where the this bit just here, as you can see on the camera. So I feel like the best option is going to be to move the car forwards and then try and obviously get it behind. All right. How are we doing, Paul? What do we think, chat? Do we try and shall we see how well the engine crane goes down the side of the car? Yeah, screw it, why not? Wait 5 minutes of our time to see. Right. Do it there so you can see the dead engine as well. The first hurdle we'll come across. See, it won't even go past the engine. Beautiful start. Where, oh where do we put this engine, chap? Trying to think of where the best place to put it. It's not going to be there very long and it's going to get stripped down, but the engine weighs a ton, so obviously having it on the engine crane is probably going to be the best option. Is there a way? Not really, unless. So, let's move them. That's not what I wanted to happen. Let's move them there so they're out of the way. And then what we can do is do that. That works. And I can guarantee that I end up just taking it back exactly the same way as it came out. So, looking at this, about there, we literally just need that slight bit more room. The car literally needs to go that way a slight bit more. But that also meant that we didn't have enough room to be able to work on the passenger side. Strategy thinking is not my strong point, chat. You've not already realised. With the engine on it, weighing that down, that's going to cause a massive problem going that way. We'll give it a go. Set 3. 3 sets of gloves gone already. If anything, you need to subscribe just to be able to pay for the amount of gloves that I have to obviously use. So, move that stuff down the back out of the way, and then we're just going to have to see if and how it goes. As you can tell, I get a lot of scrap. The sort of job that I do, I can guarantee that you cannot hear a word I'm saying because the camera's too far away. So you will have to bear with me. My microphone did break, so I'm attempting to get a new one, but again, as it stands at the moment, it's not going so well. So, I've written another set of gloves already. Random action brakes here though. Add it to the pile. Let's go. Someone wanted it and then let me down as always. Anyway, how is everyone else's Sunday going? I believe nearing the position of being able to sort it out. Get the engine down to this point. There is some seriously monster spiders down here. Yeah, if we can get it down to this point, it still shouldn't be too bad. Don't like it there, obviously, the electrical woods, but we'll have to see if we can do it. But the engine crane is coming back. I'm going to take the engine back up. And I'm going to try and see a way of hoovering it down the back of the house. We'll see how much of this that I can actually record. My battery is starting to die on my phone. It's 6:30 in the evening here in India. It's gone almost. Welcome in from India. Thank you very much for obviously joining us on the stream. For us here, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Literally just about to go 2 in the afternoon. So yes. How do we do this, chap? Or do I just try and clamp it? Could just try and clamp it there. Could work. Saves picking it back up naturally. We'll get the engine crane in position. We'll have a look and we'll see what we can do. I won't put it down to stereotype or anything like that. What's the weather like in India at 6:30 in the afternoon? So I can pick it up, move the pallet, and then just push it rather than having to twist it around. Having it here was a smart choice and then also a really bad choice. Gearbox out of the way. back over the other side of the pallet. Welcoming anyone that's new, anyone that's obviously only just joined us. Is that going to work? That's bolted on, isn't it? Then again, that did hold the weight before. Bracket. I've got another glove already. These gloves are about as useful as a chocolate fire. Over, but should be okay. Cold slightly in the way now. Kind of breezy. Good, not very hot. That's the sort of one though, and that's how it is here. The sun keeps going away behind the clouds. It's quite breezy, so it's not too bad. Still warrants obviously getting a drink every now and again, exactly like you said, but at the same time, let's try and see whether I can hook that. This may go very terribly wrong, but let's give it a go. It also stops us having to use the brackets. So, somehow let's get that wedged in there. I don't see this working very well, but let's give it a go. First things first, we need to get it off the grass. It's always a good start, so move you around this way. You need to be a bit careful with the engine swinging. We have got to take it around that all the way, just like that. Stage one is done, chat. Kind of. We've got it over the grass section slightly. The next section is going to be getting it down the side of the car without either damaging the car or camera angle is a little bit down. I am sorry. I'll show you at the end of the stream, but the thing I'm using is not very good. I appreciate the comments. Please, obviously, if it's anything like that again, please feel free to obviously in the chat. This is the problem that I was worried about, is these stones. I haven't got anything that I can lay down to try and get it past. Do we just put it there, chat? Do we just... Seems like the reasonable thing to do, doesn't it? Stop all problems, just drop it down there on the floor. Yo, Robert Edwards, welcome in. How are we doing? Welcome to the madness, welcome to the stream. We are, as you can probably tell, the engine is out of the car. And we're now currently trying to get it down the back on that pallet down there. And it's not going very well. So welcome in, welcome in. I hope, obviously, you enjoy yourself and I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I'm not quite sure on this from where we go from here. Because even if I take it further on there, we're still going to run into the issue of it dropping down the moment that we try and get past that alloy. Definitely problem solving is not my forte, as you can probably tell. We're going to slowly get there, slowly but surely. We will figure this out one way or another. It is difficult, just with the layout of the driveway. It just, if I try and push it, it's just burying itself in the stones. Really glad it's even got to the point at the moment where you can't see it on the camera. That wheel is not even on the ground. We are at an angle. Any thoughts, chat? What can we do? How can we get it there? No, it's just burying itself more and more. Yeah. Oh, look at how close that is to the car. Yo, it kind of worked. What we might have to do is hopefully, without smashing this into the wall, I can't even get that off. Door's in the way. Feel very defeated. Right. Again, more than happy for you to comment on the video, figure out obviously if and the way of being able to try and get this done. So, spot in there. So rather than using the tools that are actually used to pull the engine crane, we will improvise, use some grips. And if we take the weight off of the engine crane, we can try and reposition it. I mean, I'd be happy at this point to just try it. I'd be happy to just pull the engine crane. This might be the strap. Might be obviously doing it by hand, but obviously keeping the majority of the weight off with the engine. Don't push too much, anyway. It is what it is, chat. It is what it is. Right, so feel like see now we're losing it that end as well. Damn it. It slightly came off. Well, I wouldn't say it's the easiest or the greatest way to do it, but it's working, so. Come on. See, it's definitely too hot to be doing this. The only downside to this is the pallet is slightly snapping in the middle. Middle section is split, but we're slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. Be careful of that box there. So we might have to try and bring it this way slightly. Well, just manual manoeuvres. I mean, a lot. I feel like a few more and we are good to go. Boy, honestly, I am sweating. It is hot. It wasn't that bad before, but doing this, definitely, it's definitely causing the heat to pile on. I feel like a couple more. The pallet is about that far away from the wall, so I feel like a couple more should be good to drop it. Do we just call it there? I feel like that's on enough. It's out of the way. Should be able to get the bins down the side. So yeah. I'm all good. I just wanted to get this in. Let's get the engine crane out of the way. We have gone through our third set, but I do believe other than moving this stuff out of the way, I feel like we're there. So I'm going to now lower the engine crane. The engine's just staying there. It's not going to be able to go nowhere else for at least now. I feel like quickly we're hopefully going to turn around and strip the engine. Hopefully it shouldn't be here for long anyway. When the engine's stripped down, we'll be able to move, manoeuvre, do with and whatever we need to obviously do. So right, yeah, screw it. Let's get a drink. It's definitely what I needed. But it's there. It's in sort of a position. I mean, it's not great. It's not fantastic, but it is in. So, we'll move the engine crane out of the way, and then I'm pretty much going to call it there for this one. The main focus that we had was getting the engine out. The engine is no longer in. There's only a few things that are left in the car, along with the wiring. So yeah, big jump, big stride today. Woohoo! Thank you, YK, for being there throughout all of that process and seeing how much of a struggle it was. Anyone that is just joining us, we have stripped the engine and the gearbox out of a 2-litre insignia. The engine is over there. So I am going to go and give myself a well-deserved break as soon as I have finished manoeuvring and moving everything out of the way. I hope that everyone has enjoyed this video. We're happy to obviously finally say that the Astra is back on the road, so we are actually mobile again. So it's always a bonus. But yes, the engine, that is what is left in the engine bay of a Vauxhall Insignia when the 2-litre diesel is removed. The slaves at we've still got a lot of stuff like that. And the majority of the parts are just going to get thrown in the car now, so they're out of the way. But yes, that is the space that you all left. That is the gutted car once obviously it is all gone. Pain in the backside, it was already nearly out. We only had obviously a few things left to take off. We didn't necessarily need to take the radiator out, but it just made it that slight bit easier for us, or for me. Again, just not to worry about it all and stuff like that. So I've just got the gearbox to move down with the engine, and then just a lot of moving around. What I will do is I'll take my third set of gloves off because they are split. I will be putting a new set on to be able to move everything. Which hopefully should be my last set So if you had 4, down is the amount that obviously you got, then you would have been correct. But unfortunately, this is the setup that we've got. It's literally just a little ring stand. It's even got some little wrist weights on just to be able to obviously keep it in. So I apologise if the camera was always ever not in a position where obviously you could see it very well. But yeah, we managed to get the gearbox out, so that's now stripped off. The power steering cooler, which is this part, as well as the reservoir and thingy. The radiator's off, power steering pump is there, as well as we took the bonnet off again just to make it easier. They were already parts that were taken off, just from bracketry and stuff like that. But then, end all be all, again, I'll do one final showcase. So when we bought the car, we was told that it was an immobiliser issue, but if we have a look just there, when we actually managed to get it to try and fire up, there is a hole in the top of the rocker cover. So I'm hoping that the next live that I do should be on stripping this down. It'll be one of the next coming lives and all of this sort of stuff. So it'll be a case of if and when obviously this has been or being stripped, we'll try and find out and locate what obviously has gone wrong, or what obviously damage is being caused because of that hole just there. So again, we only noticed it because originally, like I say, we was going to get this car back up and running. It was obviously, the bodywork wasn't immaculate. That is someone else's door. But the bodywork wasn't immaculate. But as you can tell, quite a lot of parts have been sold. Still got some of the interior left. But again, we'll possibly doing some lives of stripping all of this down. Like even the centre console and that's out, look. All of the rear seats, everything has literally been completely and utterly stripped down, which is where the majority of them parts are going to end up going, because there's nowhere else for it to go. I have still got the steering wheel on this because if it was a VX line flat bottom steering wheel, we have got that in the house, because of obviously, again, if anyone wanted that or anything like that, it's currently being sold. But yes, I'm going to call the video there because it's only a bit of tidying up left to do, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. I appreciate everyone that's dropped into this video. If you subscribed, massive shout out, massive thank you. YKB, thank you very much for coming in from India. I hope obviously you've enjoyed it as much as me being an idiot and as much as me trying to obviously get that back actually down there to get sorted. But yeah, I appreciate it. Everyone that has subscribed, if not, if you can. We are pushing super close to 400. The first proper target that we need is 500. So please, please, oh please. We don't get no money from this or anything like that. So everything that we do, this car was bought with our own money, as well as any repairs that happens on this car. This has just gone through for its MOT. So one final quick look over. So the only thing that obviously was a major to it was this wiper blade was split, which we've changed. However, what they did notice, and I'm very much contemplating, is because I've actually got a custom steering wheel for this one as well. So I do like my steering wheels. So obviously a custom steering wheel for obviously my Astra. But what I have noticed is we have a coolant leak, and this was the only advisory on the MOT. This was the only advisory. Bear with me 2 seconds, guys. And the coolant leak is coming from around this hose just here. So this is obviously the 1.4 petrol engine, and it's coming from this hose here. And I originally thought it was this plastic unit. I'm now beginning to think it is just this pipe, but the part number just there is 5655-63897. And if I come over here, and I can guarantee that I won't be that lucky, but we come over to the radiator, on the back of this side, even though this is a 2-litre diesel, the hose looks similar, and I've seen the part number on it somewhere, just there, 5655-63897. So I'm assuming that it wasn't leaking because if it was all pressurised and we managed to get it up to speed. But do we go with changing our hose for that one, or do we just have searched online and from eBay they're about £1 or something like that to obviously get that hose so we can just stick a new one on? Yeah, that was the only advisory. So there's a video, we did a live on that, to be fair. It was only a 20-minute live. It kind of went over everything. We have got an oil leak from down here as well, which is also on another video. There is also a video on how to repair that. But yeah, the Astra is now back up and running. The only issues that we did have was that it didn't have MOT. So obviously in the UK, we have to have what's called a MOT, which is just a safety check on the vehicles before they're allowed on the road. They prevent you from being able to buy what's called road tax, and then cars legally aren't allowed to be on the road if they're not. But yes, so I'm hoping that the next lives should be stripping the engine down to find out what damage that hole in the top of the engine has caused. But if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall catch you all in either the next video or the next live. See you later, guys.